still in the reserve, that would be.
Nick Finlay.
Yes, good morning, Anthony. Welcome to Bothwell. A beautiful day up here. No winds. A bit overcast. Like that. Yep,
sounds
like
good.
that. How's that? All right, it's a beautiful day here at Bothwell. No wind. A bit overcast. Triabunna and Mount Pleasant playing in the first semi-final here today.
Beautiful. Great to be here, Nick. Looking forward to this one. Do or die clash between these two teams. 2022 Premiership hopes remain alive for the winner, while the loser draws curtains on their campaign. And in terms of... just checking pronunciations.
All right, all good. More or less.
I think so, yeah. Thanks, Brian.
Who's not playing out of you guys? If you can work it out, that'd be cross out anyone not playing. Nice work. Thanks, Brian. Well, it's either me doing it or Todd doing it, but no, I might be. Good crowd.
Hello and welcome to ODFA semi-final day. Huge game, couple of games coming up here at the Bothwell Recreation Ground. Magnificent part of Tasmania and a huge game, huge day of football, I should say. Two big games as we get to the pointy end of the ODFA season. Week 1 of finals, and first on the billing for you today, Triabunna up against Mount Pleasant. This is a huge game of football, of course. The winner, their premiership hopes for season 2022 remain alive, while for the loser, that will be curtains on their campaign. A huge game of football. Looking forward to bringing this one to you on the AFL Tasmania YouTube channel live stream. And then this afternoon, we've got Bothwell up against Campbelltown as well. But our attention at the moment remains on the Roos and the Mounties. My name is Anthony Osborne. Really excited to be bringing today's action to you. To my left in the commentary position is ODFA media guru Nick Finlay. Fantastic to have you on board, mate.
Yeah, good morning, Anthony. Welcome to Bothwell. Beautiful day up here. No wind, bit overcast, but really looking forward to today.
Yeah, we're certainly looking forward to this one. It's promising to be a really entertaining game of football. A lot of people tuning in will be well and truly across this competition and a guess about, where these two teams sit, the way they play. But for those who might be, this might be their introduction to ODFA footy, what sort of game style do you reckon we can expect, maybe starting with Triabunna?
Yeah, look, Triabunna, they finished third on the ladder. These two teams did play each other 2 weeks ago in the final roster match of the year, and surprisingly, Triabunna actually got up at the Mount Pleasant ground with 18 on the field. So look, that'll do their confidence no harm or good. No good, no harm basically. I'm expecting them to be a bit stronger today with some additions.
And I guess from a Mount Pleasant, actually, firstly, before we go on that, obviously, Caden Wilson, the little star of this Triabunna outfit, not out there today. That's obviously going to see them, probably needing to do a few things differently compared to earlier in the year. Yeah,
look, you're spot on. Wilson finished sort of second in the end on the goal kicking table, but look, the side's got a fair bit of depth up forward. Nicholas Clark is a proven goal kicker. Won the goal kicking competition. The table last year, basically as the leading goal kicker. So they've got plenty of depth up there.
And for Mount Pleasant, before we get underway to start this one, what are you expecting to see from them?
This is their I think it's their 12th finals appearance in the comp. So they've been here every year since 2010. So look, they're seasoned finals team basically, and look, I'm expecting them to lift. They always dig deep.
Well, it's fantastic to be here. This first final underway as the umpire throws the ball up at Bothwell Recreation Ground. We are underway. First game today between the Roos and the Mounties. So much on the line for these two outfits. Scurried ball into the middle of the ground. Quick handball out wide, and things open up now for Mount Pleasant as they drive the ball forward. A long kick inside 50 there from Scott, looking for a target. Good pick up there at ground level. Dribbling kick towards the pocket. Off the ground, a flying effort, but in the end to no avail. Through for a minor score. So quickly inside 50 there, the Mounties. That was Ross Hugo with the minor score, but that quick ball movement had certainly looked dangerous, and they go inside 50 quickly. Yeah,
they do. Yeah, Daniel Scott there, and big Joel Hazelwood in amongst it early doesn't surprise me.
So the Roos tied up in their back pocket. Said nice conditions here at Bothwell. A little bit of drizzle before, but certainly a lovely day for football.
Ryan Sweet there in the back pocket. Best on ground in the last game against these two.
Driving kick down the line, looking for Mastricala. Manages to grab the football. Not his best kick. Sets a bit of a task for his teammate there in Dylan Pert, but he does well enough. Kicks it around the corner. And look to move the ball down the line. This is Austin Cameron. Aussie. Wheels and goes, kicks it to a dangerous spot, but it's all Mounties down there. Strong mark taken down back, and the Mounties will look to reload out of defence.
Yeah, Tommy Birchall there just filling the gap beautifully as he does.
Really good effort there. Austin Cameron involved once again. Opens up an opportunity. Kick towards goal. Bouncing through. It is. What a start for the Roos. Coast to coast footy. The first kick inside 50 was to no avail, but how about the intercept there from Cameron? And then I guess the goal smarts on the goal line to let that dribble through.
Yeah, he did well, Aussie, pretty much in the right spot at the right time. Just got in front of the Mount Pleasant coach, Geordie Byers there, and managed to snap that from the pocket. So good start.
So first blood goes the way of the Roos. Straight 6 to 1 behind. Just said that first effort going inside 50. It was all Mount Pleasant defenders, but just took the onus upon himself there, Cameron. And a really nice finish from the pocket. Come back to the middle of the ground. 5 points of difference early doors here. Decisive tap down there from the Mounties. Byers doing the ruck work on that occasion. Daniel Scott, heavy tackle laid there by the Roos. Raking handball out wide from David Clark. Sets up an opportunity. Scrappy ball. Back inboard. Big opportunity here for Groves across half back. Kicks it towards the broadcast wing of the ground. Unable to take it on the second go there was Barwick. Running through the other way there was Clock. Dylan Clock gets it again. Chips it inside 50, but just enough pressure on the kick. Rolls out of bounds for a throw-in. Nice defensive effort there from Rowan Barwick.
Yeah, big name in the Mount Pleasant club, the Barwick name, synonymous with football in the region, really. Dylan Clock, the Clock family, of course, big East Coast family. The four brothers all played here together earlier in the year.
Good defensive pressure again there by the Roos. Locking the ball inside 50. So those repeat entries, I look to really put the pressure on this Mount Pleasant defensive unit. Triabunna, we've talked about it a little bit during the week in preparation for this one, but they'll be smarting after that loss to Campaigner in the finals last year. Good opportunity for them today to obviously progress their season and try and make the most of what's been a good home and away campaign. Decisively punched down, really good fist. Opens up things for Triabunna though. Brendan Clock on this occasion kicks it to a dangerous spot, looking for a target, bouncing ball. In pursuit, a couple of players. I'm intent to see it over there was Ryan Thomas. Have a throw in the opposing forward pocket.
Yeah, Brendan Clock, certainly one of the leaders of the club, vice captain, best and fairest winner at the club for the last couple of years. Expecting big things from him today.
So I just feel that two teams just feeling their way into this contest at the moment. Another throw in. Aside from that early entry inside 50 from the Mounties, the ball's being parked in this half of the ground for the Roos. Good tap over the top. Opens up the door though for Triabunna. Nice tackle there. Puts a bit of pressure on. Hurried kick away. Players converge from all angles. No one able to take it cleanly. Just pushed off the ball there was David Clark. Working his way through is mulled up. They'll have another stoppage just outside attacking 50 for the Roos. And I guess it's the way these finals often start, don't they, Nick? It's really hot and heavy footy, and it's probably a bit of a battle of territory as much as anything early doors.
Indeed, lots of pressure applied, and as to which team can sustain it early on, that'll see them probably up at the quarter time break.
Scrappy ball over on the outer side of the ground. Hurried kick away there on that occasion from Kelly. Good tackle laid, really good tackle there from Birchall. Strong stuff from the skipper. He's earned the ball now across half back. He'll look to drive the ball down the line. He's got players presenting for him everywhere, but he'll probably just do the percentage thing and launch it long. Players coming in from all angles, no one able to take it cleanly. Numbers at ground level should favour the Mounties. They get a hurried kick away towards half forward. Opportunity now for Mount Pleasant. Good pick up there from Hazelwood. Dishes it back. Kick goes inside 50 from Ross Hugo. Not really to the advantage of his forwards, though. And with the football now, Alex Sweet, who's going to have a big job to play for the Roos today, Nick.
Yeah, captain of the Roos. Very, very reliable in the back line there every week.
So Birchall's kick out of bounds on the full. So pressure's certainly being applied from both outfits at the moment. No clean football really able to be earned. So bringing the ball back into play now will be Parker. Kicks in board to Sweet.
First year as captain for Axel.
Chips down the line, good mark taken under a bit of duress. Kick goes long towards half forward. The target's there and Brendan Clock. The runner's now at ground level. Opportunity, that's Cameron again. Can he kick his second flying shot out of bounds on the full? He looks dangerous at ball in hand though. His speed's really impressed early doors.
They're certainly able to get the ball at ground level on the half forward line there for Triabunna. But definitely winning the ball there.
Thomas brings the ball back into play. That's a really good mark. He was off the pump. Good grab taken.
Lodge, I think.
Nice work from Lodge. Handballs off to the runner. Work their way back inboard. Birchall is at a fair bit of the football early on. Looks to complete the switch. He does well. Gets it out to Barwick. Another overlap run comes for the Mounties. Kick goes towards half forward. Just through the hands there of his teammate. Right against the boundary line. The umpire's got a decision to make, and there'll be a throw in by the looks of it. So Again, good pressure.
Yeah, Lockie Cameron there. That's Aussie's Austin's brother, and Tim Langdale kicked a famous goal in last year's grand final to basically seal the premiership for Mount Pleasant.
I'll be hoping to progress further this year to try and replicate that again, and that's probably something we don't need to talk about. It's just the core experience, I suppose, that premiership experience with Mount Pleasant should hold them in good stead in a big game like this today.
Indeed, yeah, they're seasoned finalists, so be interesting to see how they go.
Jeffrey Fisher wrapped up in the tackle, holding a football. It's going to be penalised. Birchall didn't take the mark, competed well at ground level, and he's earned himself a couple of free kicks early on. Birchall really leading from the front, stops and props. Goes down the line. It's a pack of roos. No one able to take the mark, though. That brings in Mount Pleasant at ground level. Wrapped up in the tackle there was Hugo. Another stoppage just in front of us in the broadcast position. It's one straight 6, the roos. Mount Pleasant one behind. Umpire throws the ball up once again. Good tap over the top. Straight down to Clark, who's wrapped up in the tackle. Hurried kick out wide. First to it should be Parker. No, the other runner comes in. On that occasion, it was Cruz. Umpire's called for a push in the back, though, so free kick and advantage taken now from Triabunna. Quickly move the ball inside 50, trying to catch the Mounties defenders napping. Big punch over the top, though. Sets a bit of a task now for Triabunna, and going in low and hard. That's desperate stuff there from the Mount Pleasant player in Morrison. Yep. Desperate stuff. He's just a little overzealous on that occasion. Gave away the free kick. Now the Roos will launch the ball inside 50. A piercing ball there. In the end, just falls in the lap of Birchall. He can't quite trap it, though. Now it opens the door for Triabunna. Mount Pleasant just able to compose themselves. Kick goes out of defensive 50 and the mark's taken.
Rui Thomas.
Looks to be a real game plan for the Mounties here to switch the ball to this broadcast side of the ground. They're doing it well. They look dangerous with ball in hand. Now in the hands of Ross Hugo. Hugo goes towards half forward. Mark taken. It's Langdale. As you said, story player, Mount Pleasant. That's a great kick inside 50. Saw a target presenting, and the mark's taken there by Hayden Crack.
Yeah, a bit too easy there. Mount Pleasant able to hit the target pretty much from fullback all the way around. Yeah, Crack first year at Mount Pleasant, and very capable player. He'll make the distance, no worries. Just all comes down to accuracy.
Yeah, certainly not the easiest shot for goal, but as you said, certainly a talented player. The kick's on the way from Crack. It looks pretty good. It's going to go right to the goal line. Just hits the post. Through for a minor score. So it was a lovely kick from Langdale in. He just saw the space in front of Crack and just laid it out in front of him. So Mount Pleasant, their second behind of the afternoon. 2 behinds plays Triabunna, 1 straight 6. A really well-weighted kick there over the top, finds De Winter. De Winter wheels and goes. That's just a really high ball to a dangerous spot. Who wants to sit under this one? A couple of players do. In the end at ground level, the numbers going Dylan Russell's way. Big ball to win here for Lodge. Nice stuff here from Triabunna, and once again Jeremy Clock, who's really tearing up this part of the ground. That's a good kick to a dangerous spot to Brendan Clock, who has a flying shot for goal, and it's through. Triabunna get their second, and when they go inside 50, Nick, they just look so dangerous.
Yeah, they do. They were able to move it up there pretty easily. The kick from the fullback from De Winter wasn't the best in the world, but they managed to get it forward, and Brendan Clock with a bit of space. He's very reliable forward of goals.
Yeah, the two Clocks and Cameron at ground level particularly just look electric at the moment. And Triabunna have got themselves off to a really handy start. 2 straight 12 playing the Mounties, 2 behinds. As we just get back ready into position. Mount Pleasant certainly being issued a challenge, and I guess that's obviously it wasn't an easy shot there for Crack, but it's the miss at one end, goal at the other. Certainly stings them too.
Yeah, ball Turnbull here, and is the field umpire putting the ball up, joining him on the ground with the umpires, Brendan Flack and Jason Chandler. So we have three umpires on the field.
Kick goes to a dangerous spot. We'll get the goals and the boundaries from you in a moment as well. There, Nick. Always good to give a shout out to the umpires, and a big day for them as well. A game that means so much, such high stakes, and from the boundaries, who have we got?
Yeah, boundaries Mitch Harwood and Archie George, and in goals we've got Josh Cox and Matt Thomas. So the association thanks the TFUA for sending umpires up. We couldn't have the game without them. So look, we thank them for that.
Ball's thrown in. Just in front of us here, broadcast side of the ground. Hot ball to win. Langdale goes in low and hard, funnels a handball out to a runner in Barwick. Nice overlap run here for the Mounties as Byers kicks it inside 50, looking for a target. Lace out stuff, Mount Pleasant. Fantastic.
Bird, I think.
Yeah, presentation for Bird was magnificent, and that was a beautiful kick. That's a couple of times now that Mount Pleasant, that entry inside 50 has been laser-like, and I suppose with Triabunna capitalising at the other end, they need to make sure they make the most of these opportunities. Zach Bird, point-blank range. Kick on the way, umpire does a bit of a shuffle, straight over the head, through for a goal. The Mounties are on the board. 1-2-8, trail Triabunna, 2 straight 12, early doors in the semi-final.
Yeah, they're certainly very tall up forwards. The Mount Pleasant forwards, and yeah, they are able to take those high up marks. Whereas Triabunna, their 2 goals really have been scrappy ones without a mark really. So yeah, it's interesting how the goals have come so far.
Yeah, but you're dead right. It really is the way this game's been played. Triabunna have probably looked to almost kick it to the contest, bring the runners at ground level into it. While Mount Pleasant's probably been a little more methodical, looking for that lead up mark or the high mark overhead. So see how the 2 defences adapt to that as the game unfolds. Ball back up in the middle of the ground. Dominant stuff once again in the middle there from Byers. Tight ball to win. Strong tackle from Byers. Opens the door now for Mount Pleasant. Hurried kick towards half forward with the sit though. Good mark taken there by Sweet. So plenty of the football down in defence. He goes to Parker.
First year at the Roos this year, Parker.
The leader of the club, despite being relatively new to it. For hands, they move their way to half forward. Just waiting for the overlap run. It eventually comes there from Jeremy Clark. He kicks to a dangerous spot, opens the door for Nicholas Clark. Dances around one, shot on goal from Clark. He's under the pump, and that one through for a minor score. I really like the way they just waited on the runner to come over the top there, though, Nick. They're certainly just looking to utilise their speed. Kick towards broadcast side, ball bounce fortuitously there for the Roos around the corner. Hurried kick from Sweet, parking himself under it but not taking the mark was Clark. Strong tackle laid, really strong tackle from Reece Byers, and he's going to be rewarded holding the footy. That's certainly what you want to see early doors in the semi-final.
Yeah, no, good hard stuff there.
Hurried the handball to Clark and funnels it back, and with a big job ahead of him now is Morrison. Dispossessed, and the ball's taken over the boundary line. Just sold themselves a little bit of trouble there, the Mounties. They could have probably taken the percentage play and gone down the line, but wanted to just move it on quickly, and a few afters between a couple of the players as well. So much on the line this afternoon. Thomas wins the football, wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire will take it back once again. Strong crowd filling in here at Bothwell. Of course, the other game this afternoon, the Rabbits and the Robins, promises to be an absolute beauty. You can just see there, slight injury concern, I think, for Brendan Clark. Brendan's really proppy there.
Yeah, it looks pretty ginger at the moment. Hopefully it's just superficial.
Tied up in the pocket, Jeremy Clark hacks it towards the opposing pocket. Strong tackle laid, really good tackle, but evading well there are the Mounties. Great kick though. Buy them a little bit of time and eventually over and out, but it doesn't look good for Clark. He looks in a world of hurt coming towards the interchange bench.
Yeah, that is it's bad news for the Roos. Certainly one of the leaders on the field, and yeah, they'll miss him if he can't get back on. But fingers crossed he can recover and come back on.
Opportunity now for Triabunna. Great stuff to lower the eyes. That was a beautiful kick. Did the unselfish thing and found a teammate there in Clark. I think once again that might have been Cameron. Could have blazed away, but lowered his eyes and saw a teammate in a better position. And now Nicholas Clark has a clear look at goal.
Yeah, unselfish player there from Cameron, and yeah, Clark dead in front here, expecting him to kick this.
Triabunna looking for their 3rd goal of the game. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. The Roos get their 3rd. That's the response they wanted after the Mount Pleasant major. They extend their lead. So, good start here for Triabunna. Nicholas Clark gets himself on the scoreboard, but they will just have this other concern in the back of their minds about Brendan Clark's fitness. Looked really ginger. Fingers crossed he's okay, but certainly didn't look good. It's one of those players that started this game really well.
Yeah, and a very, very important player for the Roos. So, but look, in saying that, they've got the full 23. So, yeah, fingers crossed they can they can cover him.
Back in the middle, Dylan Russell injected into the ruck for Triabunna on that occasion. That's a little overzealous there. The free kick going the way of the Roos. Competing there was Hazelwood. So Triabunna with the ball, the heart of the Bothwell rec ground. Run comes over the top. Nice stuff there from that man Mastrocola, who just launches the ball to a dangerous spot inside 50 now for Triabunna. Hurried handball over the top there from Rollins. They look to move their way out of defensive 50. Mark taken by Geordie Byers. Again, once again, they're looking to switch the ball. It's brave ball movement. Works out well on that occasion. Daniel Scott. Scott has the runner. Now the Mounties move their way to half forward. Really good gather. Handball over the top. Finds Rollins, who's met heavily.
Got rid of it.
Did well to get the kick over the top, didn't he? Really creative stuff there, and then followed it up with a tackle. Just trying to surge the ball. They're going to be rewarded. Free kick going the way of Triabunna. Their tackle pressure's been really impressive.
Pert here, coming out from halfback.
Former Sorell Eagle.
Indeed.
High ball down the line. Good body work there on that occasion from Ryan Sweet. Doesn't quite work out though. The Mounties have the numbers at ground level. Hurried kick away there from Mulder, but the mark's comfortably taken. Halfback now for the Roos. Stopping and propping, just assessing the options in front of him. Drives the ball down the line, 2-on-1, competing well, both players. Ground level there, Ryan Thomas from Mount Pleasant. I think he'll be rewarded pushing the back for a kick. Looks like he will be.
So he is. Played with every premiership since 2003, Roo.
Down the line, Birchall presented, unable to take the mark. Hurry kick away now for Triabunna, back to a dangerous spot. Going back bravely there was Goodwin. Didn't take the mark, but he's going to be rewarded now. Goodwin. Handball over the top to Parker. Comes back inboard, Parker, shrugs a couple. Gets it off to the runner there in Clock. It's Clock of the Dillon variety. I feel like if I just say Clock, there'll probably be a Triabunna player of the Clock name with ball in hand. There are so many of them out there today, the Fishers as well.
3 of them out there today, Anthony, yes.
Out of side, competing there was Nicholas Clark. The umpire lets it roll on before eventually coming in to break things up. So, 11-point margin in favour of the Roos as we tick down to the final 6 minutes or so of this opening term. Of course, season 2022 continues for the winner of this one. Otherwise, that's all she wrote for this campaign. So much on the line for these two teams. A really good handball over the top there from Mastrocola. He's a classy player, but the Mounties are going to come back the other way. Hurried kick towards half forward. Great pick up at pace there from Bird. Brings a runner back into it. There was Daniel Scott. He was tackled, and I think he didn't get rid of it legally. Great tackle pressure once again from Triabunna.
Yeah, great tackle there from Spencer. Goes to Fisher.
Jeffrey Fisher. Shout out to old man Fish. We're watching this one from home. Couldn't be up at Triabunna today. Kick goes inside 50. Ground level now, an opportunity for Triabunna. Running into an open goal. Nicholas Clark puts it through. He gets his second. And Triabunna kick away once again.
He was obviously pretty confident he'd kicked that. Took a bounce pretty much a second after he got us. And yeah, Clark straight through there.
Great finish there from Clark. He gets his second goal. And you said, yeah, he just backed himself in with his speed, didn't he? Wanted to move the ball on quickly. Made no mistake.
Yeah, extremely versatile Clark, tall and lanky, and can cause headaches for the opposition teams when he gets a run on.
So 4-1-25 the Roos, Mount Pleasant 1-2-8. Mounties certainly being issued a challenge here from Triabunna. Ball thrown back up in the middle of the ground. Another ruckman able to get a clear advantage. Strong tackle laid once again. The umpire will take it back. Strong tackle again there. Might have been a little overzealous. Holding the man is the umpire's call. Free kick going the way of Triabunna. Mastrocola kicks it towards half forward. A couple of players fly, unable to take the mark. Really good stuff there, running through from Groves. Nice little blind turn, got himself into a bit of space. His kick goes towards half forward and bounces fortuitously now for Thomas, who's met heavily. But the Mounties continue to surge the ball forward. Kicks to a dangerous spot. Could be a holding the man free kick. It will be. It will be going the way of Mount Pleasant. So just getting his opponent a little bit concerned there was Crack, and he's going to be rewarded.
Yeah, no, he certainly went for the ball and certainly made it known to the umpire that he should get a free kick, and came up trumps for him there.
So, Hayden Crack. Opportunity to hit the scoreboard. Dead in front. Kicks on the way. Umpire does a bit of a shuffle, but it squeezes through. That's the goal they needed. Mount Pleasant, they get their second, and it's just the response they needed.
Yes, margin the last time these two teams played in the last roster game, it was only 6 points at quarter time. So, yeah, look, I'm expecting Mount Pleasant to stay with Triabunna at least for at least for the foreseeable future in this game.
And that's the nature of finals as well, isn't it? That if you can stick with a team for long enough, anything can happen in finals footy. The pressure can get to you. So that's exactly what they needed. Cuts the margin back to 11 points, and 2.5 minutes left in this opening term. Just gives them a little bit of a pep in their step heading into the break. If I can try and jag one late, just puts even more pressure on the Roos here. At the very least, not concede in the middle. Following the ball out there was Parker. He's going to be pinged for holding the footy. Mount Pleasant starting to really bring the heat in this one.
Bit unlucky
there from Hazelwood.
Bit unlucky there, I thought, Parker. He didn't have it for long, and a bit in the back as well, but umpire had a better view than me.
Nice bit of silly buggery there from Hazelwood as well, just trying to draw the 50-metre penalty. We'll just look to bang the ball towards half forward, waiting for a couple of players to present, going in late, but holding his ground there was a Triabunna player. Handball's back to a dangerous spot. This could open the door now for Mount Pleasant. Handball out wide, running onto it now for the Mounties, tied up against the pocket. Great pressure once again from the Roos, holding the football. That man there for Mount Pleasant was Barwick, but a couple of the Roos just putting enough pressure on to draw the free kick. Switch is on. Genuine one-on-one. Just goes through the hands there of Clark. Going back to the football. Wrapped up in a really heavy tackle. The umpire's called free kick, and the players just taking it upon themselves to try and break this one up. Free kick going the way of Mount Pleasant in the hands of Rowlands. Spears the ball towards half forward, over the top. Opportunity now for Mount Pleasant. Running into a bit of space is Birchall. Enough pressure on the kick, but it's going to land fortuitously. Mark's taken. I don't know if that's exactly what he intended, but it's going to work out okay. Shot on goal now for the Mounties.
Yes, no, I don't think Birchall going on his left there. I'm not sure he was looking for Wade Booth, but he certainly found him very, very much at ground level. And yeah, Booth one of the smaller players there, and had no trouble in the end getting it.
You know how dangerous he is inside 50 as well, Booth. He's a creative player. Chance now to kick. Second in a row. Their third goal of the contest. Booth kicks on the way. Just misses to the right-hand side. So would have really put the pressure on Triabunna heading into the first break. But just through for a minor score. Some positive signs for the Mounties in the last couple of minutes, Nick.
Yeah, no, a bit unlucky there not to get that. That would have brought the margin right back again. And
that will be all she wrote for the opening term here at Bothwell, and we have a good game of footy on our hands. Triabunna 4-1-25, Mount Pleasant 2-3-15. The goal kickers for the Roos, 2 to Nicholas Clark, singles to Brendan Clock, and Austin Cameron. Clock, of course, with a serious injury concern, still going out to the middle, but I reckon his day is more than likely done. Off of Mount Pleasant, but goals via Bird and also Crack. So it's a margin in favour of Triabunna, 10 points at the opening break, but Mounties has certainly mounted a case late in that opening term here, Nick.
Yeah, no, look, they won't go away. No, this is going to be a ripping game. I think we've just seen two pretty even teams go at us, and yeah, no, I'm excited for the rest of the game. It's certainly too hard to pick a winner at the moment.
We'll take a short break here from the commentary position. Second quarter coming up next. Don't go anywhere. This game is going to be a cracker. See you soon.
Yeah, what are you doing with your chips?
Welcome back to the Bothwell Recreation Ground. Quarter time here between the Roos and the Mounties, and it's a 10-point advantage in favour of Triabunna. Finlay, we've got a good game of footy on our hands in the last, probably half of that quarter, the last 5 or so minutes were really, really positive for the Mount Pleasant side. Of course, an injury concern for Triabunna as well, with Brendan Clock leaving the field early doors in that quarter. But Triabunna certainly looking dangerous, and they went inside 50. Clark with 2 majors set themselves up with a 10-point advantage. What are you expecting to see in this second quarter, Nick? It was an entertaining start to this contest.
Yeah, it certainly was. The loss of Clock so far, Brendan that is, certainly hasn't helped the Roos. But as I said, they play a very positive style of footy, and I expect them to certainly continue on well. But look, Mount Pleasant have certainly got plenty of finals experience. So I'm also expecting them to come right back. So fascinating second quarter coming up.
It's just about to get underway here. AFL Tasmania live stream on YouTube here at the Bothwell Recreation Ground. Fantastic to be here. ODFA semi-finals. So much on the line for these two teams. Just really no possession actually taken. We find ourselves at half forward. Birchall wheels and goes. Kick goes inside 50, looking for a target. Able to take it cleanly. Cameron, quick kick away now for Triabunna into the heart of Bothwell. Ball doesn't quite sit there. The Mounties will bring the ball back up towards half forward, and just keeping his width there, putting himself in a good position was Birchall, who looked to wheel and go. Bit of a scrappy kick towards the presenting player there in Crack. Roos now with the numbers. I'll look to try and draw this ball down the line. They've been doing this really well, the overlap run. Chipping kick. Mark's not quite taken. Just spilt at the last moment there from Goodwin, but he does well to recover. Handball's back inboard. Opportunity now. Kick goes inside 50 from Jeremy Clock. Won't even quite get to the 50. Eventually rolls over there. Mounties first to the football. Morrison tied up against the boundary line. Reinforcements come in, and we'll have a stoppage. We won't. Free kick going the way. Triabunna.
Yeah, Dougal certainly trying to find the boundary line there. Didn't quite make it, and unfortunately he's been pinged.
So Flynn kicks the ball inside 50 and just looked like he was going to overrun that football a little bit there, Russell, but just put himself back in a good spot and takes a clever mark.
He does, yeah. The vice president there, Kurt Flynn, nice centering kick to Russell. Played pretty much all his footy at Triabunna in the juniors, and got a bright future ahead of him.
So Dylan Russell, opportunity to get a steady and goal for Triabunna and get this second quarter off to a perfect start. Almost dead in front. Begins his approach. Kicks on the way. Umpire doesn't move a muscle. That's a great start for the Roos. They kick their fifth, and it's just the start to this quarter they would have wanted.
Absolutely. Yeah, their fifth goal there, and good start. If they continue like this, the Mounties are going to have to step it up a notch, basically.
Yeah, it was a good finish, and kick came in from Flynn. As you said, it was a lovely kick to a dangerous spot, but it looked like Russell almost overcommitted and just was able to read the ball well in flight and get back and take a really clever mark. And was able to finish his work, which is the important piece. And I guess you look at that, I know we've talked about how they're kicking a lot of their goals on the run at ground level, but 5 goals won. Good kicking is good footy, especially in a big final like this.
Do the rucking basically straight away now, Russell.
Trying to emerge with the football there was nailed up. Triabunna again. That man, Clock, is starting to really impose himself on this game. Jeremy Clock. Kick goes towards half forward. Clever kick along the ground there. Fisher might have just overrun it. Potentially a push. The umpire says play on. Ducking his head and working his way through was Groves. Gets it back to Clark. Clark goes out wide. It's Scott. Kick towards the boundary line and just beats his teammate there in Barwick. We'll have a throw in opposite side of the ground. Byers, who's going to do so much ruck work today, has been pretty impressive from the hit-out stakes early on. Parker is at ground level, but a hard kick on the ground was trying to set up an opportunity for Fisher, and he's going to be rewarded with a free kick.
Clever from Sweet there, just off the ground, just to get it moving.
Fisher spots up a teammate, Flynn, who didn't have a stack of the football in the opening term, but had a good start to this second quarter. Clark, the intended target, rolls out of bounds, and Flynn is certainly, as you said, key figure around the football club, isn't he?
Indeed he is, yeah. Taking on the vice president role this year, so good clubman.
Byers against the fist. Clock again. Kicks the ball, just surging the ball forward now. A Triabunna. Now it's a matter of who's going to go in and get the football. Goodwin does just that. Handballs it out to a teammate. Opportunity now for Clark. Wrapped up in the tackle. Under the pump is David Clark. Great stuff from Jeffrey Fisher. Tied up against the pocket. Dribbling it through. Hits the goal umpire. That's not... Just got himself all tangled up. The Mount Pleasant defender was diving towards the boundary line. And umpire will award that as being a minor score, through for a point, but Fisher looks so dangerous in the pocket, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. He was able to wrap that up pretty quickly and get it on the boots, and I think it was headed to hit the post anyway, but the umpire just happened to get in the way before it got there.
Yeah, no harm done on that occasion. Big ball to win here, half back from Mount Pleasant. Quickly get the ball away, running back with the flight. He's going to stop and prop and hopefully let it sit for him now as Mastricola does just that. Chipping ball directly in front of us. Mark's taken, really good stuff. And Fisher, he's just stepped up a notch, I reckon, in the last couple of minutes.
Plenty of touches, yes, as you say. Last few minutes, he's playing key role.
He's going to get himself another touch here as well. It wasn't the intended result, but in the end, we'll just handball it over the line for a throw in. But his work rate up the ground is really looking dangerous as well, Jeffrey Fisher.
Yeah, that's one thing to make a mistake, but it's another thing to sort of make up for it, and no harm done in the end.
Ball thrown in directly in front of us. Opportunity now for Triabunna. Hurried kick there from Russell. Just punches it towards 50 with the sit. The numbers favour Mount Pleasant. Kick just overcooks it a little bit. It was over the head of his teammate there in Byers. Sweet unable to trap it cleanly. Umpire's whistle. High contact, I believe. Yeah, free kick going the way. He's pointing the other...
Yeah, I think he's pointing the wrong way there, Ball.
That's right.
It's definitely for Geordie Byers.
So Byers will switch the footy. Comes across, comes up Scott. Daniel Scott. Kicks it towards half forward with the sit. Now comes to ground level. Opportunity now for Mount Pleasant. Ball in the hands of Booth, who blazes away out of bounds on the full.
Trying to go check side there, didn't quite execute. Straight into the car area.
So Triabunna bring the ball back into play. Good kick. This opens up the ground now. Ball now with Cameron. Kicks it back to the broadcast side. Clever little punch over the top. Just going to get to the boundary line. Birchall unable to trap it.
Yeah, clever from Root.
So a few stoppages here, and just in front of the club rooms there, the Bothwell numbers are starting to come out in preparation for their game this afternoon. Should be an absolute crack-up between the Robins and the Rabbits. Goes out of bounds. So the umpire might have spotted a free kick. Holding free kick, I think, will be going the way
Booth.
of Booth, Mount Pleasant. So a couple of looks. Kicking a half away from goal at the moment is Booth. He's just going to kick for distance. Waiting for a pack to form, but in the end, Mark's comfortably taken there for the Roos. Good stuff there from Cameron. Looks to switch the footy. Looking for Sweet. Does really well. Works his way around his opponent. It's Alex Sweet. His kick. Back inboard. Using the ball pretty well at the moment. Triabunna. Cameron fends the ball back out wide.
Spencer trying to go for Cruz, but found himself behind then.
Do like those just changing of the angle kicks. It's catching the man, he's unaware. Now go right to the outer side of the ground. Triabunna.
Yeah. Possession football. It's something Mount Pleasant do well, and Triabunna is certainly playing their game basically, and it's hurting them on the scoreboard for Mount Pleasant.
It's the nature of the final as well. You've got to be able to shift the gears. That's what Triabunna are doing well. Over the top, good decisive fist, and now the runners for Mount Pleasant drive the ball towards half forward. Just not sitting kindly there for Crack. Coming the other way was De Winter. Over the top, Sweet just barrels the ball for distance. Pack forms. Goodwin. Handballs over the top, finds Dylan Clock. Handballs it back, that overlap run. Served them well so far, Triabunna. Good kick, it does eventually sit there for Parker. His kick to a dangerous spot inside 50. Fisher was the target. Nice stuff there around the corner from Hobden. Kicks it to a dangerous spot. Coming in the other way now for Triabunna. Tied up against the pocket is Cruz, but good pressure there from Mount Pleasant. It might have been a little overzealous, and the free kick could be coming the way of Triabunna. It will. So just copped high. I think it might have been there, Cruz.
I think it might have been, yes.
James Cruz, who's impressed with some of his pressure around the contest so far. He'll look to kick Triabunna's sixth. Tied up against the pocket. Kick there, just misses to the near side. Through for a minor score. 5-3, the Roos. Mount Pleasant 2-3-15.
Yeah, one of the young guns, James Cruz, has played with the club since they came back into the comp in 2016.
Spearing kick there. Mark just taken in the field of play from Rollins. Kicks down the line. Bird presents. Just goes over his head. Tied up against the line. They'll try and keep the ball in play. The Mounties, they do. Now the overlap run comes. Kick goes towards half forward, but not a great kick. Comfortably taken, and now the Roos will look to pounce and get a bit of bounce off half back. 2-on-1 in favour of Mount Pleasant. Raffle up between themselves. Birchall. Hurried kick towards half forward. That's a really good mark taken. Just presenting well and backing himself in was Hazelwood. A couple of players to beat. Now wheel and go. Kick for distance will Hazelwood. It's a long bomb towards the goal square. Just keeping it in play. That's a clever tap in. Keeps it alive for Mount Pleasant. Running back there. Crack. Ball's eventually taken over and out. That was a really clever tap back into play. You could see that it was probably not going to go through for a goal and just wanted to keep it alive to create the opportunity. Didn't quite result in the goal, but clever stuff nonetheless.
Yeah, no, very, very creative up forward, Crack, and with Bird there as well.
So Mount Pleasant haven't had too many looks in this quarter. Here's an opportunity though, just unable to get his kick away there was Hazelwood. Pressure coming in from both sides at the moment. Desperate stuff inside attacking 50 for the Mounties. The umpire lets it roll before eventually intervening. So if you're just tuning in, 5-3-33 the Roos, leading Mount Pleasant 2-3-15. At quarter time it was 25-15, so Mounties yet to score in this quarter. They won on this occasion either. Free kick going away of Triabunna. Ball in the hands there of Ryan Sweet.
Yeah, they can get out of jail here, the Roos, by the looks of it, if Mastrocola can do that.
Yeah, they
pretty much did.
Numbers favoured them. Good work from Mastrocola. Tried to get the handball off to Dylan Clock. So it's a bit of a task, though. Opens the door for Mount Pleasant. Coming in the other way was Reece Byers. Another stoppage. Just tough, hard finals footy at the moment. Saw particularly late in that opening term, it was opening up a little bit, a little more free-flowing. Decisive punch. Birchall's going to be first to it. Cuts back, gets back onto his right boot with the check side. Kicks it towards half forward there. Does Birchall, but the numbers should favour Triabunna. Hurry kick away. The ball just ping-ponging between these two areas of the ground until the mark's taken. Good grab there from Dylan Russell. He's putting together a good quarter. Russell looks to switch the footy and waits it perfectly. Now Triabunna quickly move the ball on through Flynn. Goes towards half forward. Another good mark taken. Good stuff above their heads there. Nicholas Clark gets 2 goals to his name. Chips it to a dangerous spot. Pressure being applied. Unable to get the ball cleanly there was Miles, but the umpire's called maybe a kicking in danger for a kick. It is, so an opportunity now for Triabunna. When they go inside 50, they're just creating opportunities, aren't they?
Indeed, yeah, and look, Mount Pleasant unlucky not even to register a score when it was up there and there, and yeah, Ryan Sweet quickly onto the boot into the middle, and yeah, Russell and Flynn and Clark all combining there, and yeah, shot on goal now for the Roos.
Looking to get the 6th of the day for the Roos. Makes no mistake. Good finish. A really good finish from Jake Campbell. He gets his first. And Triabunna, they get their second goal of the quarter. And Mounties, they've been issued a serious challenge now. They've got a bit of work to do.
Indeed they do. 4 goals down now. Yeah, they need to get back to the basics a little bit. Just maintain some possession.
It's probably, yeah, it's almost kind of what was cursing Triabunna early in the opening term, is that kick inside 50, not quite to the favour of a forward, and I guess at ground level, the Mounties probably just haven't been able to create the opportunities there, but they've probably been starved of opportunity inside 50 as well. I don't have the numbers in front of us, but aside from a couple of minutes a little while ago there, Nick, the majority of this game has been played at Triabunna's half of the ground. Mounties going to need to be really efficient when they do go forward of centre. Goodwin in the middle, lays the tackle. At the back, Fisher has injected himself on ball. Handballs it back, and just impressing in this part of the ground at the moment. Mastrocola goes for a bit of a cruise, kicks it towards half forward. There's going to be a free kick going the way of the Roos there. Nice, clever stuff from Ryan Sweet. Could feel that the contact was coming and just worked his way into it. Been rewarded now at half forward. It's a long kick. Has he got it in him?
I think he does. Ryan Sweet's got a big boot on him. But it looks like he might be looking for a pass, but perhaps not.
Good looking kick from Sweet. It's through. He backed himself in, and it was a vacant goal line. And that's a terrific finish. And although they probably didn't need it, that's a real team lifter. Triabunna get another. And yeah, you had it. You called it early, Nick. He has a big kick on him. He backed himself in. Made no mistake.
Absolutely, yeah. No, made the distance a bit shorter. Came around. Unfortunately, no defenders from Mount Pleasant right on the line there. Yeah, no, the Roos get another one and skip away.
So that opens up a 30-point lead in favour of the Roos. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. 7-3-45 to 2-3-15.
Ryan Sweet, of course, coached the side the last 2 years. Paul Rainbird coaching this year, come up from Hobart. He was assistant coach there for the last couple of years, and he's breathed some good life into the club, and early stages looking pretty good for them to go one more week.
Fisher gets his kick away. Also, it's going to be downfield free kick paid. He was just infringed with after getting rid of the football. Things just going the way of Triabunna at the moment. Parker quickly moves the ball on, kicks it inside 50. Sweet at the back of the pack, unable to take the mark. Mounties try and hack the ball out of defence. Over the top, another good mark taken there from Hazelwood. His aerial ability has been really impressive. Wheels and goes, kicks it towards half forward, and another good mark taken. Not quite holding it for long enough there. It was Mitch Byers. Still an opportunity now for Mount Pleasant. Geordie Byers scrapping away. Get it out to Birchall. Birchall spearing kick into the pocket. That's a lovely kick from Birchall, but just spilling it at the last moment there was Bird. Looked like he had it all sewn up, but it just bounced off his chest. It was a great kick from Birchall to create the opportunity. Scrappy ball, the umpire lets it play on. Eventually come in to intervene.
Yeah, he made a good effort, Bird, to take the mark. Unfortunately, the ball didn't want anything of that. But is this a free kick?
Yeah, it's a free kick. Yeah, going the way.
To the man we're talking about.
Yeah, going the way of Zach Bird. He's got one to his name. So, an opportunity here. It's certainly not a regulation shot, but certainly a skilled player, well and truly within his repertoire.
He's kicked 41 goals in the home and away season, Bird, and one already. So, yeah, he's leading goal kicker for the Mounties.
So, Zach Bird, goal that Mount Pleasant desperately need. Can he deliver? It's a good-looking kick, but just to the near side and through for a minor score. So the trick now for Mount Pleasant is to try and trap this ball in their half of the ground and not allow Triabunna to move it away at will, which they've probably done a little too easily so far this game, Nick. They've been able to really get that bounce off half back, and it's caught the Mount Pleasant defenders at the other end of the ground napping on occasion just with how quickly they're moving the football. Risky kick back inboard, and now Mount Pleasant look to capitalise. Booming kick inside 50 there from Rowlands towards the line, missing again to the right-hand side. Some opportunities being created, but just not quite able to execute.
There's a dangerous kick there to go right into the guts of the ground, and yeah, Noisy was in the right place at the right time, but unfortunately couldn't slot it through.
Mastrocola, plenty of time, stops and props, eventually goes for the short option.
De Winter, those two, De Winter and Mastrocola, both missing last week, back into the side this week.
Just kicking for distance there, De Winter. Opportunity now for Mount Pleasant. Birchall kicks it inside 50, but filling the hole and taking the mark. Really good defensive effort there from Triabunna. Just putting themselves in the right spots at the right times. Mastrocola. Just a little too hot there for Campbell. Numbers favour the Mounties. Clever little kick there from Thomas, but just overcooking it a little bit there, looking for his teammate in Booth. Clock. Just got the handball away. Did so illegally. Free kick going the way of Mount Pleasant. Good pressure being applied as Groves goes inside 50, just over the head of the intended target there in Bird. Good pressure being applied here from Mount Pleasant. The umpire lets it roll on though. Just got the handball away in time. But the Mounties have just stepped up a notch or so the last couple of minutes, I reckon, Nick. The pressure's really being applied on Triabunna. They just have to try and trap this ball in their half of the ground, and they're going to do so. Kick goes inside 50 once again for Mount Pleasant. Byers presents, unable to take the mark. Now scrapping away at ground level. Reinforcements come in through Mulder. Plenty of players converging on this contest. The umpire lets it roll on. Unable to take really clean possession. The umpire says holding the football. Free kick going the way of the Roos. They come up trumps once again. Tackle pressure's been so impressive, and once again Mastrocola is putting together a really strong first half.
Yeah, you're certainly owning that half-back line for Triabunna. He's a wealth of experience, and he's one of the main differences back there.
Brave mark taken there from Morrison, filling the hole. His kick goes towards half forward. Numbers should work out for the Roos. Potentially a high free kick. The umpire does pay it.
Certainly looked high.
Didn't like it either. Reinforcements coming in. As we tick towards 5 minutes to go in this second quarter.
Yeah, a bit of feeling in this game now. Mount Pleasant
a few words being exchanged.
Lifted a notch, and I think that's Flynn, who might need a new Guernsey at half-time.
Flynn launches the ball down the line. A couple of players fly. It's a spectacular fly, but he's claiming he may have been tunnelled. The umpire says it was an unrealistic attempt. It was a really high fly there from Russell. But he's okay as the Mounties move the ball through the middle of the ground. Kick goes inside 50. A couple of players present, but in the end, clean bowls all of them. Back of the pack now. Sweet for Triabunna. Gathers the football, kicks it out in the direction of Cruz. Cruz has an option on short. That's where he'll go. Dylan Clock takes the mark. Ashley Rowlands down on the mark. Dylan Clock just massages the ball down the line. Fisher unable to take the mark. Scraps away at ground level though. But holding the man for a kick going the way of Mount Pleasant. Just in front of us here, broadcast position at the Bothwell Rec Ground. Geordie Byers. Goes long towards half forward. The ball will bounce over and out for a throw in.
Yeah, De Winter's heights in the back half there is definitely an advantage for the Roos. As I said, he wasn't in the previous roster game playing, but yeah, definitely one of the stalwarts of the team.
So Mount Pleasant yet to kick a goal in this second quarter. It's been a term owned by the Roos so far. Opened up a really strong advantage. 7-3-45 plays 2-5-17. 3 minutes and change to go in this quarter. Double-fisted punch over the top there from Hazelwood. Beats all comers over and out for another throw-in. So if they can... We saw them do a bit of damage in red time of the opening term. Here, Nick, if they can just jag a goal here, just breathes a little bit of life into their campaign. It's quarter owned by Triabunna. Opportunity here, Hazelwood trying to trap the football. Hurried kick away there from Cameron, but the umpire's already called a free kick. The ball will come back.
Yeah, umpire Turnbull there had a different view. Was able to pluck the free kick out. Hazel will kick for goal. Distance is well within his ability.
He's really impressed with his aerial presence so far. A couple of really big clunks. If he can kick a goal here, give Mount Pleasant an almighty boost.
Yeah, the Mounties haven't gone a second quarter without a goal since the opening round, actually, so they're desperately needing one here.
That's why you are the best in the business, Nick, as the kick's on the way from Hazelwood. A beautiful kick. What a finish. That's just what the Mounties needed. Big moment, big goal. Mount Pleasant just breathe a little bit of life into their afternoon on the eve of half-time. Fantastic finish there from Hazelwood.
You must have heard me about that record. He didn't want to have the side not go a goal in the quarter. So yeah, a couple of minute 46 to go. So we'll see if they can get another late one to bring the margin back a bit further.
Yeah, so Mount Pleasant 1-2 across this second quarter. Triabunna kicked 3 goals, 2. So a minute and a half to go. Interesting to see if Mounties can at least not concede. They'll go in feeling like they've got a bit of belief. As you said, they're a club who will feel like they're never out of a game. So much quality across their list. Big ball to win here. Tracking back now, Triabunna. Mount Pleasant able to trap the football. Clever little kick along the ground. Byers should be first to it. Just a question of whether the ball sits comfortably for him. It eventually does. He's met heavily. That's a really strong tackle there from Ryan Sweet. And there's plenty of feeling in this one here, Nick.
Yeah, no, minute to go. Yeah, that was critical turnover there. Carrot was definitely trying to go for the boundary line. Didn't pay off, and yeah, Sweet will take the kick. This might be the last forward push for the half.
That's what he does. Just launches the ball towards half forward. At ground level, Mulder very content to see that over and out for a throw in.
Yeah, Mulder's been a good addition to the side.
There's a lot of feeling in this one. Margin at 22 points as we tick towards half time. Ball's thrown in. Clever punch over the top there from Russell, just moving the ball forward. Numbers should favour Mount Pleasant. They do. Byers cuts back inboard and then kicks the ball out wide. Fisher first to the football, but unable to do anything with it as the siren sounds on what's been fascinating opening half of football. Triabunna have themselves a really healthy advantage. 7-3-45 to Mount Pleasant 3-5-23. That late goal there from Hazelwood is just what Mount Pleasant needed, but they still have quite the uphill battle to get themselves back into this contest. Nick Finlay.
Yeah, they do. Look, yeah, as you say, that last goal there to Hazelwood was sorely needed. Yeah, if they hadn't have kicked that, then yeah, would have been a goalless quarter basically. So, but look, they're not out of it. But Triabunna certainly are playing a cleaner style of footy. They're every time they go forward, they seem to be looking like scoring. Whereas, yeah, the Mounties need to regroup, have a chat at half time, and come out and see if they can bring back the deficit.
Great reception for Triabunna as they make their way into the rooms. Mount Pleasant as well. Good supporter bases, both of these clubs, and plenty of people in the house here at Bothwell. Of course, you can see Campbelltown and the Rabbits going out to do a bit of a warm-up. Their game kicking off this afternoon at 2 o'clock. We'll quickly go through the goal kickers, then we'll take a break here from the commentary position. Nicholas Clark with 2 for Triabunna, singles to Brendan Clock. Also Dylan Russell, Austin Cameron, Ryan Sweet and Jake Campbell. Then we've got for Mount Pleasant, singles to Joel Hazelwood, Zach Bird and Hayden Crack. So half time in this one. Triabunna with a strong advantage, 22 points, but Mount Pleasant certainly not out of this contest. We'll take a break from commentary. Second half action coming up next.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, most of them. I know. Not far off, no, I mean, like that. Okay.
You don't let that one. I'm happy to do it after game interviews. Just come down. Yeah, okay, no worries. $50 a minute, isn't it?
For us. Yeah, they're playing this year. Friggin' Jake Mitchell. There's a live stream link if you want to watch it.
Welcome back to the Bothwell Recreation Ground. Half-time in this opening semi-final. A massive day of football here, ODFA semi-final day at the Bothwell Rec Ground, and we've got a 22-point margin in this opening game at the main break in favour of the Triabunna Rouge. 7-3-45, leading Mount Pleasant 3-5-23. Big second half coming up. Nick Finlay, we're expecting a pretty fiery start from Triabunna to begin this second half.
Yeah, look, they'll be looking to continue their positive way so far, and if they can get through here, they'll be through to the preliminary final next week at Oatlands.
Yeah, Triabunna started so well. Mount Pleasant, they had a couple of good passages of play where they were able to lock the ball inside 50 and create some repeat opportunities, but they've been a little few and far between, so they'll look to try and get off to a good start. Birchall launches the ball inside 50 for them to begin this quarter. Numbers favour the Roos. Hurried kick away towards the broadcast side, sitting underneath it, but a clever fist over the top there from Clock. Keeps the ball in play, strong tackle Wade. We'll have a stoppage inside at the centre square. Moving the ball on now. Opportunity once again for Birchall, who's stripped of it. Fantastic tackle Wade there from Russell. Yep. He's putting together a good game of football. He kicks it on into the middle of the ground. They're looking to really move the ball positively so far of Triabunna. Goodwin swoops on the footy. High kick inside 50. Genuine one-on-one. Fist goes over the top, but it opens the door for the Roos. Running into an open goal. And that's another one.
Blake Kelly there, just taking the crumbs straight into the goal square, and that's a good start to the Roos. It'll hurt the Mounties though. The lead extends out to 28 points, I think now.
Yeah, did the right thing trying to punch the ball to break up the contest, but just clever forward craft running into an open goal there. Blake Kelly, terrific finish, and that's not the start to this quarter that the Mount Pleasant Mounties needed, Nick. It just reaffirms Triabunna's advantage, 8-3-51 to 3-5-23. Once again, it's that drive off half back that's just creating all these opportunities for them. The majority of their goals have really been from that good, positive ball movement starting at half back, and a couple of those players have been real architects back there.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely continuing on their way, and if Russell keeps winning the taps there as he's been doing for most of the game, then they're going to be hard to stop.
Rolling contest in the middle of another stoppage. You know that Mount Pleasant have come from behind to beat Triabunna this year, so I feel like they're still well and truly in this, but they need to start to get a wriggle on as this third quarter unfolds. Getting over and out for another stoppage, far side of the ground. Overcast conditions here at Bothwell, but still a magnificent condition of the ground and just a great day for football.
Yeah, these two sides, it's the only two sides in the comp where each club has won one game each.
And they were at the opposing venues, weren't they?
Correct,
yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. They both travelled and won, and pretty much every other game in the comp throughout the year has the winner has been the high-placed sort of ladder leader.
Ryan Sweet kicks inside 50. Flying high there was David Clark, unable to pull the mark in. Chipping ball down the line towards us on the broadcast side of the ground. Clever little kick on. Continues to move the ball on there. Good stuff from Rowlands, but coming the other way. It's all Triabunna. Sweet kicks it towards half forward. Goodwin. Now Cruz, who cruises his way inside 50, sets himself for goal, but misses to the right-hand side. Just danced his way through traffic really well there, did Cruz, just unable to finish his work. But again, good positive stuff from the Triabunna Roos.
Yeah, young legs there from Cruz. Yeah, played with the team, as I said before, for a number of years now. One of the stalwarts, really.
Long kick out of defensive 50, sitting underneath it, and almost pulling in a strong mark there with David Clark. Some desperate defensive work there. Sweet, I think, last moment.
Yes. Yep, Axel.
He's the real Rock of Gibraltar down in defence, isn't he, for Triabunna? Seems to very rarely get beaten. Throw in just in front of the social rooms here, Bothwell Rec Ground. Goodwin. Couple to beat. Fisher with a clever little tap on, but will go out of bounds once again. As the crowd continues to filter in here. Fantastic atmosphere.
Goodwin, one of the few players who played with the Tasman Peninsula side when they had a team down that way.
Together a good afternoon today as well. Strong tackle laid by that man Goodwin. Just trying to trap this ball inside 50 now. The Roos. There are so many bodies around this football. The umpire will come in and intervene. It's fantastic to see the ODFA humming after the challenges of the COVID year in 2020. Fantastic return campaign. Now this year with Oatlands and Woodsdale rejoining the competition, Nick, it's just gone from strength to strength.
Yeah, it certainly has. Yeah, look, every team every team would welcome new clubs back to the comp, and yeah, that was certainly the case this year.
So going to be penalised for that tackle there with Ryan Sweet. His tackle pressure has been immense across the course of the afternoon. Dinky kick over the top, finds Booth. He's got a couple of players on really short, including Crack. He'll opt to track backwards and try and get a switch going now for Mount Pleasant. Just being hemmed in. Brave kick into the middle of the ground. Might just work out okay. Weighted perfectly. Now Mount Pleasant drive their way inside 50. One-on-one. Hazelwood's there. Unable to take the mark. Peart competing for Triabunna. Handball goes off to a runner. Opportunity now for the Mounties. A clever kick to a dangerous spot. Running into the open goal. That's what Mount Pleasant needed.
Yeah, they certainly did well there to stop the ball from getting out. It was literally about to be bombed down out of their forward half, but yeah, they managed to keep it in. And Scott, I think it was Daniel Scott, I think sort of got it there into the forward line, and yeah, Crack was able to get it in.
And the thing that's probably done a couple of times, as we've said numerous times already, that kick inside 50 that hasn't been to the favour of the forward, and again it was just good vision to know that there was the player there. Could have easily blazed away, had a shot on goal, saw Crack was in a good position and he took the onus upon himself, ran into the opening goal. So that's what the Mounties needed. 4-5-29, Triabunna 8-4-52. Still got plenty of work to do, but that's a really positive start for them. They're on the board in this third quarter.
Yeah, the Mounties definitely not out of this, but they need some more pressure, and yeah, need to be first at the ball basically.
Got an opportunity here. Kick from Mulder is a good one. Sets up an opportunity now for Mount Pleasant. Kick goes inside 50, looking for the big man inside 50. The mark's taken. He's proving difficult to stop when he's presenting at the football. Nick, that's another good mark.
He's pretty imposing. Yeah, the lead there, and yeah, getting a bit of attention, but got the mark, and yeah, definitely within the realms of possibility here for him to slot this.
Well, from what we saw in the second quarter, certainly within his repertoire is this kick. He'll be kicking from right on 50. Hazelwood begins his approach. He's got a big kick on him, kicks on the way, loves it straight away, turns his back, gives the applause. The teammates come from everywhere, and Mount Pleasant, well, they're up and about. Good couple of minutes for the Mounties.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what they needed there. Just out of the middle really quickly. Mulder to Coach Byers, and Hazelwood easily slotting that through. Very reliable up forward when he's on song.
Yeah, the forwards have certainly presented well, and again they're just sharpening up the entries and issuing a challenge back to the Roos now. Margins cut back to 17 points. A really good finish. He's a terrific kick for goal. Gets his second of the day. Joins Hayden Crack also with 2 for the Mounties. Byers over the top. Cruz unable to trap it cleanly. Byers also scrapping away at ground level. Mulder in there too. Byers called for the footy. Free kick going the way of the Roots.
Russell, I think.
Russell is putting together good afternoon. Kicks it towards half forward, flying there and unable to take the mark.
Flynn with a new Guernsey.
Yeah, he caught me unawares there. Had the rip jumper for much of the second quarter, didn't he? Down to his, just below his chest. Now he's back out in the new number, 34. So, no, it's inside 50 for Triabunna, but Mulder has just inserted himself well in this third quarter, and I know he's only kind of joined the club midway through the season, as we were talking off air before there, Nick. He's
spot on.
Yeah, making a good impact around the ball in this third term for the Mounties.
Yeah, just played the 5 home and away games, which qualifies you for ODFA finals.
Big afternoon ahead for that man and the rest of his side. They'll try and stop the Roos in their traps at the moment, but this is going to go to a dangerous spot. Mark's not quite taken, but the ball's still in motion now for the Mounties. Kick away from Thomas. Mounts is a little crude there for his teammate, just paddling the ball on now. Mount Pleasant, they'll probably be content to see this over the line. David Clark tied up against the boundary line, gets the handball back into play. Screwed kick around the corner, the mark's taken, and Triabunna, they're going to look to move this ball on quickly. Parker goes inside 50, sees something he likes, and that's a wonderful kick to find Kurt Flynn, who just found himself in a little bit of space, and it was a beautifully weighted kick to his advantage.
Yeah, and a good shot on goal. Flynn will be here. He's pretty reliable most of the time. Good to have him back in the side.
So Kurt Flynn looking to get the steady out for Triabunna. It's been a good couple of minutes for the Mounties. This is just to extend the margin back out for the Roos. Kicks on the way, but always missing to the left-hand side. Through for a minor score. 8-5 now, Triabunna. Mount Pleasant 5-5.
Bothwell and Campbelltown players eagerly looking on. One of the teams is going to play one of these teams on the field currently next week at Oatlands in the preliminary final.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be hoping that this game goes deep and that both teams really have to be putting it into the final siren. That's a good kick. This ball spotted well and reading it well on that occasion. Mark taken there by Campbell.
Yeah, back in the sides had a few weeks not playing. Basically played the first five games of the year.
So Jack Campbell will be kicking from outside 50. Man of the mark's right on the 50-metre arc. That's one to his name so far. Kicking right to the goal line, but just that extra bit of distance might have just caught him. Kick through to the right-hand side for a minor score. So a couple of opportunities for Triabunna to just extend their advantage. Mount Pleasant had a good couple of minutes, just hanging on at the moment. Kick goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw in just near the fantastic scoreboard here at the Bothwell Rec Ground. That is a magnificent thing. It's a fantastic venue, really, isn't it? With the traditional grandstand, the ground in fantastic condition. A little bit of drizzle at the moment, but the sun's still beaming down across the ground. It's just a fantastic place to be for such a big occasion. Holding the footy, free kick.
Yeah, the scoreboard, a new addition only this year. Basically, it certainly saves the numbers from blowing off the old scoreboard, which would happen on a regular basis when a bit of wind got up.
Goodwin with a chipping kick. Clever kick on the ground there from Flynn to a dangerous spot, but the mark's taken now for the Mounties down back. Just holding up well here, Mount Pleasant. It's had a few ebbs and flows of momentum throughout this game, and at the moment Triabunna creating a couple of opportunities. The Mounties need to hold on and try and capitalise when it's their turn. Kick out towards us. Daniel Scott, who's had a fair bit of the football. Loopy handball over the top. Goes back now from Lodge. There's a bit going on off the play here. Free kick has been awarded to the way of Triabunna. It was a long way off the field. I didn't see what the initial contact was, Nick, but a little bit of discipline there for the Mounties, who are probably starting to work the ball down the wing relatively well to create an opportunity. A bit of discipline hurts them.
Yeah, a bit of interference there from Noisy. De Winter taking the free kick.
Kick towards half forward. Mark not taken. Jeffrey Fisher lays the tackle, but the handball's just out in time to Ross Hugo. Tricky ball. Really clever tap on. Opens it all up for Goodwin. Dinky little kick to a teammate. Clever kick, and now Aaron Parker. Spearing ball inside 50. Had to come from behind there to the Triabunna player. Unable to take the mark. Cruz is there. I think the umpire will take the footy. Got
quick to blow the whistle there, I thought.
Yeah, just got himself a tough spot. Ball didn't quite go the way the player or the umpire thought it was going to. Decisive punch down there. Byers just bounces off his foot. No one able to take the ball cleanly. Hurried kick around the corner. Diving forward. Unable to take the mark there was Geordie Byers. Scrapping away at ground level. We'll have umpire's call going the way of the Mounties. So Geordie Byers see something he likes. It's that man Hazelwood. Just going to lead the foot race here to the football. Clever kick on just to try and bring a teammate in for some reinforcement. Numbers an even split between the two teams. Big ball to win. Umpire lets it roll on. Eventually have a stoppage. So dangerous spot here for the Triabunna defence. Pleasant looking to try and capitalise and cut this margin back to something that's far more surmountable. Tap down into space. We'll try Triabunna with the leg speed out of the stoppage. High kick down the line. Underneath it, Mark's taken. Good grab there from Aaron Parker. It's been impressive both at ground level and in the air. He's a really difficult matchup for opposition sides as he goes off to Cruz, who tries to take the man on the mark on. Pin for holding the football. Good stuff here from Mount Pleasant, who now kick the ball towards half forward. Hazelwood's there, coming from behind Bird, unable to take the mark. Hazelwood continuing to scrap away. Gets it off to that man Mulder. Just gets the handball in time, but the umpire says he had too long with it, holding the football. Great tackle there from Alex Sweet. He'll take the free kick now for the Roos.
Yeah, no, nothing gets past Alex Sweet a lot of the time, and yeah, did well to earn the free kick there. Deputy Vice Captain here, Austin Spencer.
Spencer moves the ball on down the line. Parker potentially taken without the football. The umpire says play on. Daniel Scott. A couple of calls of high. The umpire has spotted the free kick. So a few things just going the way of Mount Pleasant the last couple of moments.
Yeah, they've done well, Mount Pleasant. I mean, Triabunna scored very quickly early on here in the third quarter, but scoring's dried up for them just the last 10 minutes or so.
David Clark moves the ball on. Kicks it towards half forward, just falls short. Really clever tackle there. Good stuff from Isaac De Winter. Just knew if he went too hard in the back, it was going to be the free kick. If he went to try and get the spoil, it was probably going to infringe. So he just waited his time, made a good tackle, draws the stoppage.
Spot on, Anthony. Yep.
Byers with the tap. It's all Triabunna. Kick around the corner and just coming onto the field of play. Dylan Millis takes the footy. Around the corner, opens up an opportunity now for Campbell if he can trap it. Birchall comes in for the Mounties. Does well on his left, kicks into the heart of the Bothwell rec ground. It was a big ball to win, and the numbers are going to favour the Triabunna Roos. Parker links up with Clock. Clock goes inside 50, finds Flynn, who looks for the runner, gets the handball off, made it a little more difficult, but the goal's kicked. Fantastic finish. Nicholas Clark gets his third. Good unselfish footy there from the Roos. It was a big ball to win in the middle of the ground, and the weight of numbers ended up working out well for Triabunna.
Indeed, that's Clark's third goal today. 37 goals now for the year, and obviously the side continues to miss Caden Wilson, but look, Clark has stepped up beautifully as he has done for the last few games, really. And yeah, look, as you say, he was put under a bit of pressure there by Flynn, but was able to compose and get the goal.
I think it's good from Flynn as well, though, isn't it, to bring his teammates into the game, and he's done that well so far. But yeah, we probably haven't talked about it a lot in the broadcast itself, but the absence of Wilson and finding other avenues to goal, it's working out well for them today. They've had a few players pop up as they stream away from the middle once again. Parker finds Goodwin. Back to Parker. Great run and carry from him. He kicks inside 50. Finds Campbell. Terrific football, Triabunna. That was just great work rate out of the middle from Aaron Parker, and the composure to spot a teammate inside 50. Take a bow.
A bit like a training drill there, really. Parker was instrumental in getting it out of the centre there. The playing coach, come up from Dose up this year, and he's had a massive impact on the club.
So up against the pocket, kick on the way, looking to get another for the Roos. Makes no mistake, fantastic finish. Great footy, Triabunna. That's a really tidy finish and just excellent stuff out of the middle, as we've said, from Parker and Campbell. He gets his second.
Yeah, second goal, and good time to come back into the side when there's finals on, and he's making his mark pretty well. And yeah, those two quick goals there certainly hurt Mount Pleasant. So yeah, they need to respond now, basically.
Yeah, kind of just the momentum that Mount Pleasant have been able to build up with those couple of goals in a row, just kind of absolved now. 10-6, 66, blink, and all of a sudden it's back out to 31 points. Mount Pleasant 5-5. Couple of volleyball spikes. The umpire, I think, is going to claim that.
Bit unlucky there,
Rollins,
I thought, but...
So the Roos will look to, again, break away through the middle of the ground. Austin Cameron, who started the game on fire. Long ball inside 50 now. Flying high. Triabunna just playing with a real lot of confidence at the moment. Big tackle late. Another stoppage inside 50. Just said earlier, of course, the winner of today will play the loser of this afternoon's clash between Bothwell and Campbelltown. For the loser of this game, that's all she wrote for season 2022. Clever hands there from Mount Pleasant, just trying to trap the football now is Booth. Eventually does that, handballs into a bit of space to himself, and then David Clark sees it over the line for a throw-in.
A couple of premiership heroes there, Clark and Booth, over the last sort of couple of premierships.
So the throw-in, just in front of the club rooms here at Bothwell. Tap one down. Good tap from Russell. Opens up an opportunity. Parker, who's been fantastic today, again spots a teammate inside 50. The mark's taken by Blake Kelly. And Aaron Parker is putting together a bit of a masterclass around the ball.
Yeah, he's certainly had a few touches just the last few minutes, and yeah, he's played a major part just in this little resurgence just now. The game pretty much back on Triabunna's terms now.
So Blake Kelly looking to kick his second goal of the day. Kicks on the way from Kelly right to the goal line. His teammates like it, and that's why straight through. Triabunna get another. Kelly gets his second, and this is a serious wave of momentum that the Roos are now riding. That was, again, set up by that Parker kick inside 50.
Indeed, yeah, another youngster, Kelly there, 18 years old, and he's done well. Good East Coast local there, and yeah, it's they're doing very well now. It's the lead's pretty comfortable.
Yeah, nice finish from him as well. His earlier goal was running in to an open goal. That time the regulation set shot, and they're just having players pop up now. This is the third multiple goal kicker now for Triabunna. Nicholas Clark with 3, Campbell with 2 as well. And yeah, Parker around the ball is becoming a serious problem for Mount Pleasant. In the middle, tap one down there by Hazelwood. Good roving there from Geordie Byers. He kicks inside 50. Great presentation now for Mount Pleasant. They'll look to try and arrest this momentum and hit the scoreboard. Kick to the top of the goal square, flying high, just over the head, bouncing ball. Going to stay in play. Numbers should favour the Roos, but they're pretty happy to see it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Biggest margin of the day now, 37.
It's just kind of a blinked and it's happened. It's been really electric stuff from Triabunna the last few minutes. Umpire's call, high free kick, going the way of the Roos. Kick down the line, percentage play, flying high. A couple of players trying to claim the mark. Birchall was one of them. The umpire can't split them. They'll share the points and have a stoppage just in front of the Mount Pleasant Exchange bench.
Would have taken a brave umpire to call that one between Birchall and Sweet.
They both had a serious look at it. Over the top. Going in low and strong there was Morrison, just using his strength. Hazelwood, handballs into space. Might have been infringed with after the fact. The umpire says yes, so infringing on that occasion was Flynn. Opportunity now for Mount Pleasant through Lodge.
Maxi Lodge here, look to pass off.
Clever kick, but just filling the hole there with the Roos. He kicked it into the leading pattern of his teammate. You can see the couple of players on the Triabunna bench just saying to hold the ball up, but just moving the ball well with such confidence at the moment. Campbell takes the mark at half back. Kicks it into space. That's a bit of a task for Goodwin. He'll be happy to see that over and out. Have a stoppage, other side of the ground. 11-6-72 the Roos. Mount Pleasant 5-5-35. Do or die semi-final here at Bothwell.
I think Triabunna will be pretty happy to see this margin into three-quarter time. They'll just bottle it up here, try and keep it out of Mount Pleasant's forward half, I would say. Just a minute or so to go.
Ball's thrown in. Nice stuff there from Russell. Got the tap down. Plays going in low and hard. We'll have another stoppage. Just a bit of a rolling scrum. And a quarter that promised so much for the Mounties midway through. Themselves in a really good position, but speed and class of Triabunna coming to the fore late in the term. We'll have another stoppage. Rinse and repeat. Ball's thrown up. Russell and Hazelwood. Hazelwood wins it down. First to the football will be Ryan Sweet. Moves the ball on. Kicks it to a bit of a pack. Fisher overruns the football. Goodwin able to trap it. Comes back in though, Goodwin. He's putting together a good game. Mount Pleasant really under the pump. Down at half back. Opportunity now for the Roos. Kick around the corner. Bouncing ball inside 50. Unable to trap it cleanly was Clark. Numbers come in now for the Mounties. Mulder takes the football. Tackled by a couple of Roos. Just got his handball away. Just as the siren sounds, Mount Pleasant had to stand tall in those last moments. They were able to not concede, but this game is well and truly in control of the Triabunna Roos. 11-6-72, lead Mount Pleasant 5-5-35, and you'd be a brave man to say that Mount Pleasant are entirely out of this game, Nick, but they're going to have to pull together a bit of a Herculean effort in this final term to overcome this margin.
Absolutely, Anthony. Yeah, look, they're going to need to kick their score again, basically in the last quarter coming up. 37 points being the deficits, and. Geordie's going to say something pretty special to the boys. It's three-quarter time here, and but look, as I said before, they're seasoned finalists. They haven't lost a final in the first week of the finals since 2015. So look, they'll be looking to dig deep, but yeah, look, the Roos certainly in the box seat at the moment.
So three-quarter time here at Bothwell. Triabunna 11-6-72, Mount Pleasant 5-5-35. The goal kickers for Triabunna, 3 to Nicholas Clark, 2 to Blake Kelly, 2 to Jake Campbell, singles to Ryan Sweet, Austin Cameron, Dylan Russell, and also Brendan Clock, who, just tuning in, was out of the game pretty early on in the first term with an injury. Well, for Mount Pleasant, 2 goals to Joel Hazelwood, 2 to Hayden Crack, and 1 to Zach Bird. We'll take a break here, three-quarter time at Bothwell. Don't go anywhere. Final quarter action coming up next. Welcome back to Bothwell. Final quarter coming up in this do-or-die semi-final between the Triabunna Roos and the Mount Pleasant Mounties. It's Triabunna in a good position, 11-6-72, Mount Pleasant 5-5-35. Nick, we said Mount Pleasant have plenty of experience and have a knack for coming from behind, but it's going to be a hell of a performance to try and reel this margin in across the final term.
Yeah, you're spot on, Anthony. Look, it's a big margin, but look, I wouldn't call them fully out of it at the moment. But the next 5 or 10 minutes is really going to really paint a picture in terms of where this game's heading. Mount Pleasant need to score quickly, and obviously stop Triabunna from doing so.
Yeah, well, the Mounties did issue quite a challenge to Triabunna midway through that term, but they just handled it with aplomb, flicked the switch, did the ruse, and were able to skip away to the advantage that we see in front of ourselves at the moment. This first couple of minutes going to be so crucial. As you said, sun beaming down here at Bothwell. Ball to in the middle of the ground. Trying to work his way through was Parker, who just turned it on in that third quarter. Kick out wide there from Ryan Sweet. Sitting underneath it, Goodwin can't quite trap it. Should be able to mop up his work. Eventually does. Funnels the handball out. Numbers in favour of the Roos. Hurried kick towards 50. With the sit. Unconventional there from Ryan Thomas. It's going to be a throw in. Come off the boot and bounced into the turf before going over and out for a throw in.
The perils of parking your car on the boundary line, Anthony. You might get a ball on the roof or on the windscreen. Fortunately, no damage done by the looks of it.
As you say that, the cars are really starting to come in, of course, with the Rabbits and the Robins going head-to-head in a little while. Starting to filter through. Great atmosphere here at Bothwell. A dinky kick inside 50 is a good one, and the mark's taken. Lovely stuff there from Triabunna. I think it was Campbell taking the mark, who really starting to bob up. He's got 2 to his name. Again, just got that little bit of separation on his opponent and kind of knew where his teammate wanted to kick the football and went exactly there. So Jack Campbell looking to kick his third and get this final quarter off to the perfect start for Triabunna. Kicks on the way. Umpire takes a couple of steps to the right, but that's through the middle of the goals. Another finish there for Triabunna. They get their 12th. Campbell gets his third, and fantastic start to this quarter for the Roos. The momentum just continues.
Absolutely, yeah. Campbell with only 4 goals sort of leading into this game. He's kicked 3 already here, so he's been vitally important for the Roos, and obviously Clark assisting as well. So that makes it very hard for the Mounties now.
We've talked about the absence of Wilson and finding other avenues to goal, and that's a fantastic stat. 4 goals leading into this game, kicks 3 in a do-or-die semi-final. Come with the moment, cometh Jake Campbell. So, advantage is now furthered. That's 43 points. Decisively one down in the middle for Mount Pleasant, but again, around the ball, Triabunna have been electric. Parker and Mulder going head-to-head. There's been a good battle. Fisher's in there too, but again, Mount Pleasant eventually win out. Morrison's kick inside 50 is a good one. Just bounces off the chest there of Zach Bird. Hurried kick out of defence. Mark not quite taken by Birchall, and Jeffrey Fisher roves expertly. Has plenty of space to work with, just Fisher. Kicks it inside 50, but reading it well. Mark taken by Ryan Thomas. Thomas knows he needs to move the ball on. Gets it off to Scott. Scott has a runner. Really good athletic stuff by the man on the mark. It was Fisher again. Just read that really well and taps it over and out for another throw in. Just doing the little things. Probably safe to say they're doing the little things better across the afternoon, Triabunna.
Absolutely, yeah. De Winter back there just a minute ago, causing that spoil, and then Mastrocola sort of kicking out from fullback. That was, that could have gone Mount Pleasant way very easily.
Russell competing in the ruck. Handball over the top there from Ross Hugo. Kick goes in to Geordie Byers. See something he likes. Chipping kick over to Rollins. Just methodically moving the ball towards half forward. Presenting well there, Bird. Takes a mark. Has 1 goal to his name so far.
That was better movement of play there. De Winter nowhere near it, unfortunately for him, but shot on goal here.
Should be kicking from outside 50. Certainly going to back himself in. Good kick of the football. Zach Bird. Couple of steps. Kicks on the way. Distance not a problem. Accuracy will be. Through for a minor score to the left.
Yeah, hooked it, I think. Just try and kick a bit too far. Probably just beyond his limit, but in terms of accuracy, but yeah.
So back to an even 7 goals, 42 points the difference. Goodwin down the line, flying high over the back. Good mark taken there from Birchall.
He stood tall for the Mounties all day.
He's been excellent. Started the game really well and has continued that across the afternoon. He finds Byers. Nice captain. It's a big job to play this afternoon. Switching between the ruck and half forward. End of the mark's right on 50. Kicks on the way. It's a good looking kick. Fantastic finish from Byers, who's toiled away all afternoon, and that started from Birchall really backing himself in at that contest and lowered the eyes. Good mark taken from Byers, and he made no mistake.
Yeah, he's got a lovely kicking style. Mitch Byers, Carrot as they call him. No troubles at all there. Pretty much the same spot that the Bird was at 30 seconds beforehand. Still 19 minutes and 40 seconds to go, but they've got to do that again and pretty quickly.
Certainly do. Cuts the margin back to 37. But, yeah, as you said, everything's going to have to go right from here for the Mounties. Back in the middle. One down from Mount Pleasant. Arriving there was Parker. Tried to get his kick away. Didn't get much purchase on the kick. Good use of the body there from Byers. Goodwin. Handball over the top into a bit of space. Jeremy Clock's there. Jeremy Clock on his left. Kicks it inside 50. A couple of players fly. Good mark taken there from Ryan Thomas, who I reckon he's gotten better as the afternoon's unfolded.
Yeah, it's his natural position there. So, the back half, Roo. A bit unsure if he was going to play on this year, but he's been a great addition again to the team. Played for 20-odd years with the team.
Mulder found Byers, and Byers' kick is chopped off down back by Sweet. He's been as reliable as ever. Goes into the pocket. Kick comes back in, finds Lockie Cameron. Cameron has an option out wide, that's where he goes. Cameron kicks down the line. Fisher unable to take the mark. Birchall back of the pack with ball in hand. Chisels the ball out wide. Opportunity now for the Mounties. Check side kick, reading it really well. That's a strong mark taken. Good stuff there from Mastrocola, who's led from the front. Just assessing his options is Mastrocola.
Yeah, big addition into the side today, and he's played his role beautifully.
It's a good name in Tassie footy in the south, isn't he?
Indeed.
Good player for a long period of time. Birchall down the line, flying high, unable to take the mark and impeding. It's free kick or the mark, take your pick. They'll pay the free kick going the way of Hazelwood.
Yeah, a bit sloppy there from Spencer, but Hazelwood going for goal again, and distance won't trouble him. Accuracy will be the question.
He's got a booming kick on him. He's presented well all day as Hazelwood. Kick is on the way. The umpire has to do a fair bit of movement. It's through for a minor score. 6-7 now, the Mounties. Triabunna 12-6. Kick goes out in the direction of Jeremy Clock, who's been a consistent performer across each quarter. Kicks in the direction of Dylan. Dylan Clock chisels a ball, and free kick downfield is going to be paid. Just pushed after getting rid of the footy. Campbell to a dangerous spot, tied up against the pocket. Numbers favour Mount Pleasant, but eventually the ball goes over and out for a throw-in. Left forward pocket now for the Roos. 35 points the difference. 16 and a half to go. Third quarter just broke things open for Triabunna. The second half of the third quarter, really, because Mount Pleasant had issued quite a challenge early in the third.
Yeah, they certainly applied plenty of pressure, the Mounties during that time, but couldn't quite sustain it, and Triabunna with 3 late goals, I think, and margin's still pretty comfortable.
Ross Hugo got the kick away, but it could come back with interest. Clever stuff on the mark there from the Mounties. Hurried kick away from Clock under the pump, sitting under the football, taking the mark. For Mount Pleasant, although it may not have travelled the required distance. It didn't, so the umpire will throw the ball up.
Triabunna, of course, won the first semi-final in 2019, so they haven't, which got them through to the prelim final of that year, but unfortunately they couldn't go any further. They succumbed to Campania in that year. But they're on the way at the moment to a preliminary final berth. The big question is, if they do make it, can they go that next step?
Yeah, and it'll be a big watch during the week as well on how Brendan Clock is after going off. We know he's a classy operator, a fantastic player. Started the game really well before getting injured, and if they can get him in fully fit, it's just going to add another dimension to the team as well.
That's a very good point. Yeah, they've practically won it without him, and him and Wilson, of course, as we've talked about. So yeah, just goes to prove they've got plenty of depth, and they seem to be running out the game very well here at the moment, which is something they have struggled with a little bit from time to time. Rotations does play a key role in that at this sort of late stage in the game, but they've got I think they've got four on the bench still, so yeah, things looking good.
So a deliberate free kick will be paid. Triabunna to bring the ball back into play. Straight to the man on the mark. We'll have a repeat stoppage on that side. Tom Birchall working the mark really well, who has really led from the front all afternoon. Terrific player. Good user of the footy, and just a tough matchup with his size and athleticism as well. Goodwin, who I think's put a really good game. He may have just been pinned for holding the football on that occasion. Don't know how he got rid of the footy. So ball coming back to Mount Pleasant. Quickly moves the ball on, but he hadn't gone back on his mark there, had Dougal Morrison. Of course, at 2 o'clock, massive game between Bothwell and Campbelltown for a direct ticket to the grand final. The loser of that game will play Triabunna. Kick out to the outer side, mark taken by Geordie Byers. Dances array around traffic, does really well there, Byers. Kick towards half forward, but not a great kick. Straight down the throat of the Roos. Kick goes out wide to Campbell. Just put together a good game of footy. 3 goals in a do-or-die semi-final. Fantastic return. Byers just ran out of tarmac, over and out for a throw-in.
Yeah, certainly worked hard all day. The coach, Byers, led by example.
Out of side. Ball thrown in. Clever tap down there from Morrison. Goodwin tries to extract the football. Booth meets him heavily. 2 of them going head to head. Scrappy football to win. And the umpire will have to come in to intervene. Eventually will pay the free kick going the way of Wade Booth. He's certainly tried hard all day. Kicks towards 50. Coming in over the top from De Winter. Unable to get the purchase on the punch he would have liked.
The Roos be happy here, just soaking up the clock. Clock keeps ticking, of course, here in ODFA games, 25 minutes straight, and doesn't matter how many times you ball it up or the ball goes out, the clock keeps ticking.
And the other piece as well, though, just who they decide to put on ice for the last 10 minutes or so as well, of course. Hate to do an injury late in the game. Campbell looks a little bit ginger there. Jeffrey Fisher around the corner. Cruz still down as well. Thomas loops it up. Ball now with Rowlands. He's looked to switch the football now. Rowlands, dangerous kick, but it pays out well. Goes to Booth. Booth didn't quite get the purchase on the kick he would have liked. Great pick up there from Clock, running at pace. It's Clock of the Dillon variety. He kicks in the direction of Flynn, who has Birchall to beat. Another player able to win the ball cleanly. Mulder comes in for reinforcements. He's tackled, but just gets the handball away. Gets out in the direction of Reece Byers. Met heavily there. Birchall, crunching tackle. We'll have a stoppage on the outer side of the ground.
Yes, the reigning premier here doing it tough. 11 minutes to go. Looks like a blood rule here. Anthony got a Triabunna guy coming off. One of the or is it Tom Birchall?
Yeah, a couple of players making their way off.
I think it's during the clock.
So obviously off the back of the dramatic and wonderful premiership last year from Mount Pleasant, how have you viewed their season overall? I guess a bit of a slight year of transition, perhaps.
Yeah, I think so. Look, injuries have struck them. One or two losses of some key players as well does make a difference. Look, they've certainly played well for the majority of the year, but. Yep. Yeah, numbers can be a challenge sometimes. Geordie Boston has done really well in his second year as coach. It's always tough to back up a winless year. A lossless year, I should say.
Yeah.
In last year, but
kick inside 50, dangerous spot, roving well, expert stuff there. The ground level crumbs for Triabunna. Jeremy Kwok kicks the goal. Fantastic finish around the body. Just read that ball fantastically off the pack and makes no mistake. You're dead right with that, I reckon, Nick, to come off such a historic year. Probably it does also speak to the competitiveness of this competition, that heading into the final series, obviously Mount Pleasant, what they did last year and the strong season they put together over the course of this campaign up against three other really quality outfits. And looking forward to seeing, we'll see how Triabunna go next week, but really looking forward to seeing this Bothwell Campbelltown game this afternoon. There's so much expectation sitting with Bothwell heading into this match.
That's
it's
right.
It's going to be a fascinating battle.
Spot on, yeah. No, looking forward to that. Bothwell, of course, they haven't dropped a game all year, and there's there is the P word, pressure. Does that you don't want to start losing games in finals. So yeah, and Campbelltown will be red hot. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that at 2:00.
And I reckon probably if you are Bothwell or Campbelltown, you obviously wanted to book a direct ticket through to the grand final, but I reckon playing a team full of confidence like Triabunna at the moment would also just present quite the challenge next week for whoever does lose this afternoon. Much prefer to have the week off. Tracking back, unable to trap the football on that occasion there was Groves. Numbers come in to support Triabunna. Desperate stuff here from Mount Pleasant, continuing to ply away and finish the game well. 8.5 minutes to go, margin out to 41 points. Of course, the awards for the competition this week coming up. Is that right, Nick?
Yeah, spot on. Yeah, Monday night, the Association Best and Fairest counts is on at Oatlands. 8 o'clock at the Oatlands RSL. All are welcome to attend. That's always a good night.
I do like the release of the top group to try and work out who out of that pack can potentially be the winner. It should be a good count.
Spot on, yeah. That creates a bit of interest and a bit of banter amongst those particular players that do find themselves on that list.
It's a nice spread of clubs as well across that. You can kind of obviously the ladder has a couple of different, different slots of teams that have had really good years and others that have had challenges. But that top 15 seem to have a really nice spread from across the competition.
Absolutely, yeah. I think every club had someone in that top 15, including Oatlands and Woodstar, which is good for them.
Jeffrey Fisher picks the pocket. No, just hits the post. Running into goal. It's been good today, Jeffrey Fisher. Probably hasn't had the reward on the scoreboard, but has certainly competed well all day and looks so dangerous when he has been inside 50. Mark taken in the pocket by Morrison. Wheels and goes. Running back and taking the mark there was Hazelwood, who's tried hard all day. Short ball on, finds Groves. Moves the ball on quickly, does Groves, tied up against the pocket, just taking it inside the field of play. Line ball call, mark taken by Rowlands, he kicks inside 50 now. Good mark taken there, under the pump. Standing tall was Mastricola.
Yeah, it's been solid in defence all day.
Scott Dylan Pert on short, Bullfrog. Takes him up. He'll just decide to go back to Mastricola. A couple of fantasy points between the two.
Indeed, I have my dream team any day.
ODFA dream team points. Might have to look into that for next year, I reckon, Nick, as the kick goes down the line. A high ball underneath it. Clever little tap on there from Flynn. Coming back the other way, though, for Mounties. Morrison to Birchall. Tries to get around Flynn on the mark. Opts to eventually go via hand to Daniel Scott. Back to Birchall. The ball bouncing around on his chest. He eventually gets control. Kicks it towards half forward. Clark finds the runner. Kick goes inside 50 there from Lodge. Couple of players fly. Good mark over the top. Bird, who quickly wheels and goes. Dribbles it through for a goal. He does. Regulation set shot, but he quickly moved the ball on. Makes no mistake, and that's his second goal of the afternoon. So 7-7-49 the Mounties. Triabunna 13-7-85. 5 minutes to go, and the Roos have booked themselves a ticket to the next round of finals footy on Mount Pleasant. Last 5 minutes of their campaign ahead of us. So Triabunna against Campbelltown and Bothwell across the course of the season. Obviously Bothwell going through undefeated. How do you think they match up against their potential opponent next week if it goes either way? How do you think they match up against a Bothwell, and how do you think they match up against a Campbelltown?
Yeah, well, look, Triabunna have done very well against each of the sides. Triabunna played Bothwell at Oatlands about a month ago and were well up in that game for probably at least three and a half quarters, basically. But Bothwell, of course, as we know, have a never say die attitude, and they came back with their coach Matty Bird kicking a late one, which ultimately won them the game. So again with Campbelltown, look, they were well ahead early on in that game, but in the last game they played, that was over at Triabunna, and they sort of ran out of legs basically, and Campbelltown overran them. So look, they're capable of beating them, either one of those sides. It just comes down to what happens on the day.
Walking the tightrope here, Mount Pleasant. I'll be happy to see that through for a minor score. Triabunna moved to 13-8. Should be a fascinating matchup regardless. Finals footy can create some upsets and create some crazy things. Entertaining couple of weeks coming up in the ODFA, and an entertaining afternoon as well. Dylan Pert does really well. Paddles the ball on in front of himself, former Sorrel Eagle. Goes back in, provides the support to his teammate, but free kick is going to be awarded to the Roos.
Yeah, second year at Triabunna, Dylan Pert, 131 games at Sorrel.
Just a rock-solid performer, isn't he? He's rarely beaten, does his job week in, week out. Now with ball in hand, Austin Cameron, who started this game in a blaze of glory.
His first goal of the day.
Cameron's kick. Standing bravely in front was Mulder. Should be rewarded with the free kick. He will be. Really good, brave stuff from him. Can't question his endeavour this afternoon.
Yeah, he's been a great addition to the Mountie side in the second half of the year. They've really benefited from him.
Goodwin thought he might have got away with that. The umpire says no. So free kick going the way of David Clark.
Thought we were about to see a 50-metre penalty, Anthony, which would have been, I believe, the first one of the day. I don't recall any 50-metre penalties in this game thus far, which goes to show the clean play, and
good grab that. It's a really good mark, flying high there by Birchall. I think it is. Yes, it is. Tom Birchall, who quickly wheels and goes. Kick is on the way. Makes no mistake. Now Pleasant get their 8th, and no, you're right, Nick. There's been a couple of moments where it has been a little fiery, but all in all, it's just been played in a really strong, competitive way. Good game of finals footy. Triabunna really bordering on Mount Pleasant, getting it back to within under 10 points at one point there, but Roos just flicked that switch in the third quarter and really not taking their foot off the accelerator since.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say the sting's come out of the game a little bit. The Roos have dropped off just ever so slightly, which isn't a major issue. Percentage doesn't play any part in finals football, of course, but in saying that, you want to finish one game. Well, I guess the way you finish a game can be the way you start another game. So, but with a minute 30 to go, there's probably not a lot they can do.
Rollins just had to make his way back for 6-6-6 in the middle of the ground here. Dying stages of this one. Hurried kick away there from Jeremy Clock, who's also been a solid contributor across the afternoon. The stoppage just on the paint of the centre square. Just over a minute to go. 31 points of difference in favour of the Roos. They've booked themselves a ticket to next week's final. Of course, the opponent they'll play will be determined couple of hours' time with Bothwell taking on Campbelltown. The loser of that game will meet the Roos next week. Mount Pleasant, they'll have to reload again in season 2023. Triabunna running into an open goal, making no mistake. Another finish there for Nicholas Clark. He finishes the day, likely to finish the day with a 4-pack. Still 40 seconds to go. But he's been really dangerous, Fort Centre.
Yeah, he played his role really well. Nicholas Clark crossed to Triabunna from Swansea, where he had a lot of goal kicking success as well. And yeah, as I said earlier, won the goal kicking competition last year with wasn't a huge number of goals. I think it was only 41 off the top of my head.
Yep.
He's done well this year. 12 games only each club plays in season 2022, and it isn't many games, but enough to kick a bag of goals, which we have seen a couple of times through the year.
That's all she wrote. Triabunna, they keep their season alive. A fantastic performance from the Roos this afternoon. They run out 14-8, 92 to 8-7, 55 winners. A fantastic performance from the men in maroon and white. A clinical performance second half of the third quarter has opened this game right up, and although the Sting was out of it late, that is a terrific performance from the Triabunna Roos. They run out convincing winners. We'll run through the goal kickers and then we'll stop and reload for what should be a fascinating afternoon with Bothwell taking on Campbelltown. For Triabunna, Nicholas Clark, as we just said, with 4, Jack Campbell with 3, Blake Kelly with 2, singles to Brendan Clock, Dylan Russell, Jeremy Clock, Austin Cameron and Ryan Sweet. While for Mount Pleasant, 2 to Zach Bird, 2 to Joel Hazelwood, 2 to Hayden Crack, and singles to Tom Birchall and Mitch Byers. Thank you for your company on this AFL Tasmania live stream of this game between the Triabunna Roos and the Mount Pleasant Mounties. Triabunna continue on in season 2022. Make sure you stay tuned to the AFL Tas YouTube channel for the next game this afternoon. It's Bothwell Rabbits up against the Campbelltown Robins. The loser of that game will take on the Roos next week. The winner straight through to the grand final. Thanks to Andrew McCarthy on the camera, Ash Wilkes in the studio, Nick Finlay in the commentary box. We'll take a short break. Next game coming up next.